Poppin' Trey TV gang, it's your boy Trey TV.
And it's your boy Lamar Wilson.
And we back at you with another reaction. With this one, we got What's the Dirt just ended his career in one video. If you want to end your career, you definitely don't want to end it with one video. But a lot of people are saying stuff about his family matters, Drake breakdown of that whole situation. We know this guy right here put a lot of money in our pocket, and he put a lot of money in different reactors' pockets during the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. Everyone was reacting to his videos because he's making dope videos that kept your attention and had everybody reacting to him. So he did definitely put money in people's pockets. We're not gonna move past that.
Definitely had your attention. Definitely kept the people engaged.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying, like, from the video that he made, it seems like he doesn't have any black friends. People don't know what's going on with him. They say he's from Canada like Drake. He's acting like Drake. I don't know. I haven't seen this video. It was sent to us, so I definitely wanted to check it out because we knew who he was doing the Kendrick Lamar beef. And we reacted to a lot of his videos, and I'm going to have an open mind about it because I just want to break everything as it goes along. Like, what somebody might feel racist, I might not feel like it's racist.
Right.
You know
I want to see for myself.
I want to be my own judge, jury, and executioner. I don't want to hear. I heard what they said, but let me hear it because the way you take stuff is not the way that I might take stuff
at all.
So we're gonna get straight into this video without further ado. Matter of fact, before we get into the video, if you didn't subscribe, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Chi, get the yayo.
Get the yayo.
The Dirt just proved that not everyone needs to speak on hip-hop culture. But since people are able to put in their 2 cents, regardless of how I feel or how you feel, it's best to take their interpretation with a grain of salt. What's the Dirt is a YouTuber that substantially grew in popularity because of his breakdown videos of the biggest beef of 2024, Kendrick versus Drake. Hey, off topic, but shout out to the villain, bro. I don't even what is it?
You talking about,
Certain a few on that Kendrick and Drake released it. Get about a thou wow, you know what I'm saying, about a stack, but we trying to get 2 bands. Can we get 2 bands? His last few videos has been about each song that Kendrick and Drake released this year. And so far, each of his breakdowns has been a great watch. With most of the things covered or pretty much everything that everyone else throughout social media has already put in perspective and pointed out before his videos ever dropped. Every time I watched his videos, his takes were pretty much familiar and spot on to other creators. I also seen that covered the topic before his, but the way he broke it down and presented it was very refreshing. His latest and very controversial video was his take on Drake's song Family Matters. It was a very long, dragged out, lengthy video, which already seemed a bit odd before clicking for the simple fact that what Drake song could possibly need a 2-hour breakdown? Drake's overall music.
There's not a such thing, a song on God Green's Earth that need a 2.5-hour break down.
Yeah, I'm like, what is attached to that?
It's like when you do something like that, you're leaving a chance of putting your foot in your mouth because you're just making it so long. The song is probably like 3 minutes, 4 minutes of that, and you stretch that to 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that was a lot of
explaining,
deep diving and explaining.
That's a lot of explaining. We don't even explain that much to the cops.
Facts.
Music has always been very surface level compared to Kendrick's very in-depth angle with his overall artistry. Before we get into the issues of this video, I do want to point out that What's the Dirt got extremely lucky for his breakthrough content to begin with. Now, his content is great and well put together. He was going to be a very successful YouTube channel regardless, but the timing of his drops is what changed the trajectory of his sub count. I say this because his video Drake versus Kendrick Lamar is his biggest video to date with 8.5 million views, which I'll say is indeed a great video. The way he edits and sets up his scripts, it's a real joy to hip-hop fans to watch. This video in particular came out November 23rd, 2023, just 8 days after Drake and J. Cole first-person shooter music video came out November 15th, 2023. You know,
high explanation video beat
the music video. That's crazy.
That don't happen often, especially a Drake and J. Cole.
Yeah, that's
crazy. That lets you know what type of material he's putting out.
Yeah.
So, YouTube standard stuff, talk about the trending topics. The whole social media had been covering the subliminal disses and unspoken beef of Kendrick and Drake for some time now. Take Loasta's video that dropped February 18, 2023, for example. 9 months prior to What's the Dirt's first drop on the beef. The highly long popularity of Drake and Kendrick's subliminal disses have been something fans all around have been up to par with for the last decade. So for What's the Dirt?
Facts, it's been like 10 years. is running. That's why it was so good to finally see this beef. It's almost reminded me of the Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather. That was going back and forth for so long. It was actually nice.
We just wanted to see
the fight. And Drake and Kendrick have been going back so far. It was actually nice to actually now.
We got to see it.
We actually got to see it. Pay-per-view.
Dirt to start his series after the debut video of First Person Shooter, it only seemed fitting to do so, and not technically hard for anyone to do, because all the material was already out there to collect and to put together in your own words, in your own theories, with your own opinions. And I think that's exactly what went wrong with What's the Dirt. Prior to his recent drop, all his takes was pretty much already covered, including the newer videos, because everyone was putting content out fast, trying to gain exposure through this popular beef. Shit, even I was, and that's how I got my breakthrough.
A lot of people got a breakthrough off the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. It's, even now to this day, there's channels where they run nothing still but Drake and Kendrick Lamar content, because that's how much people is paying attention. That's how many people are still paying attention now. We slowly got away from it. We barely even touch it anymore. But there's some people I see still running Drake, Kendrick content every day. That's like now a staple of their channel.
Yeah, it's like become part of their DNA, who they are now.
Yeah, facts.
Feel that What's the Dirt stayed in a safe zone gray area, and people loved his take and content because it was usually what everyone else was already feeling, or when he would put his own opinions and theories out there, it wasn't too far-fetched. Then
it's like at that point in time, me and you would have this conversation and we would say, if you want views right now, bash Drake.
Bash Drake. It was that simple.
Don't say anything good about Drake, and you're going to get some views. It was that time of point. Anybody that was bashing Drake, he was guaranteed to get some views.
Oh, yeah. The eyes were going to come that way.
Yeah, for sure.
What people were already discussing online, and the theories he would state and suggest seemed to not be so far of a reach. So what went wrong on his last video about Drake's song Family Matters? It seems to me that instead of focusing on everyone else's take and masking it with his own opinions and theories, he would completely do an entire video based on his own perception for the first time, instead of using what was already being
for the first time. You should be giving your perspective every video. It's your video.
Right, it's your video.
Just make videos and give someone else perspective. I would never make a reaction and give someone else perspective on the reaction.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
You gotta be true to yourself. Yeah. Like, that's why I'm doing it. So I can give my perspective
whether you
on how I feel. Whether you agree or not.
It's still my opinion. I'm entitled to
You're only gonna get my opinion from me.
being said online like he would do in the previous videos. So most of the new video was opinions presented as facts, and that can come off disingenuous. Doing this was very revealing on how out of touch he truly is with the culture, and how stereotypes and in denial racism still very much exists. Now
that's why I don't really talk about people's cultures, because I don't really know the ins and outs of them. Like, I'm gonna know my culture. Right. It's like sometimes people make that mistake of speaking on somebody else's culture, and like he said, they speak from it for like these are facts, but they're not facts because you're not really in that culture. You don't really know it like you trying to present it as you know it. And the people that really knows the culture, they're gonna know that you're full of it, and almost sound like that's what happened in this situation.
Yeah, it's a different than being authentic and knowing something, and then just trying to fill some space.
I'm regurgitating information I already heard.
That I heard somewhere else.
Yeah.
Before I break down some of his controversial takes, I do want to say this isn't about Kendrick versus Drake. This is about a well-meaning white person who's really into hip-hop that tried to join the discussion but accidentally said some things that was racially insensitive, and also stated far-reach theories with stereotypical logic. This showed he didn't really understand the culture as well as he thought he did. And
that goes back to why I don't speak on other people's cultures, because I don't understand it as well as they understand it. So this is definitely, can't wait till we actually get into the footage of what he's talking about, so I can really make my opinion on what I think
or not, as opposed to just what the masses are doing.
Yeah, we don't follow the masses. We follow our own brains.
And it also showed the disconnect that most, not all, but most white people still have when it comes to Black Americans and our culture, and is why they shouldn't speak so loudly on topics that could be taken out of context. One of the first things
I think they should be able to speak on it, because the best way to really find out what's going on is to speak on it. Then people are quick to correct you. Yeah. He wasn't gonna let you put these theories out here. Just like the same thing he's doing right here. The guy put his theories out there how he felt, and he's correcting them on the way that he felt like the culture is moving and how he feels.
Like he could have handled it differently.
Yeah, so if they don't put it out there, you're never gonna know that's how they feel. So it's never gonna be corrected. I'd rather you put something out there incorrectly so it could be corrected. So moving forward, you know.
Right, you know.
Yeah, that's what it's about, knowing.
Yeah, because you can't do anything if you don't know. Yeah. Where does the growth come from?
Yeah.
Where you gotta have the conversation.
Yeah, we like having conversations over here. So even when he did, at the worst case scenario, he started a conversation.
Start the conversation.
That come to mind is something that took me back in disbelief when he called Kendrick a milkman and Uncle Ruckus.
Now, Tiger in particular is a well-documented milkman who, like Kendrick, has a past of infidelity.
I never even heard that quote before. Milkman. That's like new to my ears. You heard that before?
No, Milkman is a new one for me.
I heard you like snow bunnies.
Yeah, I heard snow bunnies, you know what I'm saying? On the bunny slopes, I never, you know what I'm saying? Milkman's a new one though.
You learn something new every day.
A milkman who, like Kendrick, has a past of infidelity. Kendrick...
Every man walking God Green's earth got a past of infidelity.
At some point in time.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Who, like Kendrick, has a past of infidelity. Kendrick might just be a milkman, right? A closeted milkman.
And after that, it's over. You wake up and you don't even know what you done.
It's exactly. You woke up and it's like statements like that. It's like, why did you feel the nerve to say that? Like, what made you thought that was gonna be?
Right.
It's almost I can see what people saying. Like, he's from he's from Canada, the same place as Drake, and you taking on Drake perspective because that's what Drake was using in the battle to say, oh, you mess with Whitney, you like white women. But anybody that look at Whitney, and we said it when we did the video, no one's gonna look at Whitney and be like, she's a white girl.
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all.
She's just a fair-skinned sister.
If anything, you're gonna label her as light-skinned, mixed, or mulatto.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be like,
she got something in her.
She didn't look like none of them chicks you put up there with Tiger Woods.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not even close.
Man.
And after that, it's over. You wake up and you don't even know what you done.
I missed the show. I wish they bring it back.
What kind of prejudice shit is that to call someone a derogatory name just because he dates another race? And to call him an
Uncle Ruckus.
No, you done fucked up, right?
No, you don't fucked up.
No, you done fucked
now,
up. Right.
Now I can see why. I can see why people are starting to say the little things. I'm gonna give him his time though. I'm gonna give him his time.
We're gonna keep watching, but yo, what's the dirt? You know you done fucked up, right?
No.
That to call someone a derogatory name just because he dates another race. And to call him an Uncle Ruckus, which doesn't make sense at all. And Uncle Ruckus doesn't represent black people who are conscious and dates different ethnicities. Uncle Ruckus represents brown nosers and the tokens.
It's like, yo, time you see the picture, you seen that movie, you know what it represents.
Yeah, you already know what it is.
You feel what I'm saying? He's the god.
He is the yes boss.
He's master. Are we sick?
Are we? Is we sick?
Are we sick, master? Nah, master's sick, nigga. You ain't sick.
You ain't sick.
Different ethnicities. Uncle Ruckus represents brown nosers and the tokens who sides with ignorant comments from white propaganda. In what you're doing right now, feeding the tokens and the Uncle Toms. You see, I wouldn't have to break this down to a black person. They know this without having to have the context. Watch an episode and we laugh because we know what they're talking about and who they're making fun of with that Uncle Ruckus character. This is what we mean when white people misinterpret a lot of our culture. And why does Dirt think Kendrick is racist? When did Kendrick ever say he wasn't attracted to other ethnicities? So many
facts. Do I love my sisters? I love my sisters. Do I love other races too? I love them too. I don't have just one certain thing that I like. To me, it's never been about looks. It's always been about personality. Your personality is gonna either keep me with you or get me away from you. Your looks only take you so far. Guys, after we smash a couple of times, the looks fade away.
They fade away.
Then we're stuck with the personality. What is the personality? Yeah. Not the color.
Is it welcoming? Is it something I want to be around?
Yeah.
Is it something I don't mind dealing with?
Yeah.
Or is it something I need to get the hell away from?
It basically boils down to that at the end of the day. Color doesn't have nothing to do with those things that you just identified.
When did Kendrick ever say he wasn't attracted to other ethnicities? So many questions. Just because Kendrick is the voice of the people and is a conscious rapper, a proud black man, doesn't mean he's against other races. Showing black pride.
It'd be like, yo, you can't be out here trying to free the slaves and trying to talk to white women.
Yeah. It don't work like that, bro.
Rapper, a proud black man, doesn't mean he's against other races. Right. Showing black pride seems to be intimidating to people because they always think it's a way of shunning out others when we show self-love, and that isn't the case. We as black people have learned to overcome disadvantages and discrimination by self-loving ourselves loud and proud.
He got a little point there. When we saying like even when Black Lives Matter came out, all lives matter. What do you mean Black Lives Matter?
Yeah,
well, you all know every life matter. You think you really got?
Yeah, you gotta reestablish the point here.
But I can't have a little bit of self-love for me and my people.
Yeah,
I get what
it's wild.
Yeah.
Overcome disadvantages and discrimination by self-loving ourselves loud and proud. With people like James Brown,
I'm black and I'm proud.
And the Black Panther Party.
We don't hate nobody because of their color. We hate oppression.
It's deep.
That was dope. We don't hate nobody because of their color. We hate oppression. Nobody want to be oppressed by somebody else. Don't nobody want to wake up every day with a boot on your neck. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just want to start the race at the starting line and have a fair chance.
A fair shot. That's
to run
it.
a race. That's it. If someone's oppressing you, why wouldn't you have a problem?
Yeah, if somebody oppressing you, well, we're going to figure it out.
Yeah. We're not going to keep being oppressed.
Nah, you're not going to keep stepping on me.
We want to eat just like you eating. You feel me?
And the Black Panther Party.
We don't hate nobody because of their color. We hate oppression.
It's deep rooted in our grandparents who were young when that James Brown song came out and when the Black Panthers were thriving. Most of our grandparents that lived then are still alive today. It's instilled into us. Just like the N-word with the hard R, black people changed the entire meaning to it and successfully changed it by saying nigga instead. And that's one thing that white people seem to not understand. Kendrick never claimed to be against dating outside his race. That's Drake's confusing the people and changing the narrative. One of the villains states, because Drake's angle was to paint Kendrick as a colorist, and it had effect to an extent, and trying to say he is no different because his woman is mixed and his son is lighter like his mom. So let's talk about Whitney real quick. Black comes in all shades. It doesn't matter if you're mixed with black, you're still black.
No one want to look at this picture. If I just showed you this picture, you wouldn't be like, yo, it's a white girl.
No.
You wouldn't say that. You'd be like, yo, she's light skinned, or you might say she's Spanish, Puerto Rican. You get what I'm saying?
But she might be mixed with something.
But white wouldn't have came out your mouth when you see this picture.
No, her features don't say white.
Nah, not at all.
No.
Still checking that African American box on a job application. When you're pulled over, they're telling their buddies they pulled over a black man or woman, no matter how mixed or light skinned you are. If you look anything black with black ancestry and black lineage, you're black. And Whitney being from the hood and inner city and biracial, she's black. Drake's blackness being questioned by us isn't for white people to question at all. Don't get it twisted. I think I need to say that one more time. Drake's blackness being questioned by us is not for white people to question at all. Drake is black, but he wasn't raised black. His dad wasn't in his life. He's seen it.
I mean, Drake is black, but he wasn't raised black. Almost the same thing you hear about Kamala Harris. Like, she's claiming to be black, but the only person that was black was her dad and her family, and he didn't raise them. He left out the family earlier, so she was raised as an Indian. With all that being said, whenever Kamala Harris is being looked at, they're going to label her as black. Whenever Drake is being looked at, they're going to label him as black. Yeah. And whenever Whitney's being looked at, she's going to be labeled as black. For sure.
It seems
Drake
weird
is black.
Such a hard thing for people to process.
Yeah.
Like, you can't look and see that they black. Like, we really got to analyze now, like,
you gotta go to,
how black you are.
It's like they damn near wants to go to DNA Ancestry for everybody to figure out what they really is and shit.
It's wild.
It's crazy. It's different times, man.
Question by us is not for white people to question at all. Drake is black, but he wasn't raised black. His dad wasn't in his life. He's seen his dad a few times, but they didn't have an established relationship.
This is my dad, and him and my uncle worked with Al Green. He taught me everything. So, thank you, Dad. I don't get to see you that often, but, you know, my love is always with you.
Drake himself would often rap and vent about this. He was raised in Canada by a Jewish mother and grandmother and uncle and went to an all-Jewish school.
First of all, I live in an all-Jewish area. So
where is that?
Forest Hill.
Okay.
I went to a predominantly Jewish school growing up. I definitely had a bar mitzvah in an Italian restaurant, mind you. My lord.
Yeah. A nice Italian restaurant?
A very nice Italian restaurant. The song of the night was Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way.
Damn.
The persona Drake pretends to be and how he treats his other black peers as a community is why his blackness is even in question to begin with. The fake accents, the hood hopping, the shady deals, the cease and desist letters, the way he still styles and ride waves and does shady industry backstabbing shit. It's very parallel to what whites would do to black people back then in the...
Hey, black be calling questions.
Right.
What's going on? You black or you not? I can be called into question. I don't care where I was raised or what I listened to or I had a bar mitzvah. Look here.
Look here, brother.
When the cops pull me over, they're gonna treat me like a black man.
Yeah.
And that's really what it boils down to. When the cops pull you over, how are you treated?
How black are you then?
Shit, it's very parallel to what whites would do to black people back then in the music industry.
You ain't nothing but...
You also never see any footage of...
Man, black people do that to black people too. We just know as reactors, black people take our stuff.
Yeah, they've been jacking for a long time.
Niggas been jacking. Like, let's time we gotta make it a black and white thing only. Okay, white people jack from black people. Nah.
Well, nah, I think it's because that specifically, with Big Mama, that was like one of those Cadillac record type moments.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, this is hot in the streets. Yeah. Oh, now you got a mainstream off of my...
Like taking that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? We did...
The Drake effect.
We did see a lot of that, but we're not going to act like it's only coming from one direction.
Yeah, but especially...
It's coming from all directions.
Especially back then, though.
Well, we know about K-pop and where they got their stuff from. It's just a lot of people...
Yeah, everybody's taking something from everybody.
So we can't just put it on just this culture's doing it.
Oh, no.
The world's doing it.
Not saying that, but yeah, when you see it on a larger level, it jumps out at you.
Yeah, immediately.
Drake praising his blackness, but you see countless videos of Drake praising his Jew side. He also never has an opinion or voice when black injustice is going on. And to point out lyrics about weave and fat asses,
Kendrick had to frame those lyrics like he had big plans of messing with thick queens with the weave looking on point, but in reality, he was gripping on a blonde ponytail and balls deep in skinny white ass.
Was very stereotypical.
Oh, he's wilding. Now, I didn't get it at first.
Yeah, he smoothed his way into that segment. Now I'm starting to see.
We reacted to every video he did during the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. He never gave these type of perspective. We would remember.
No, we would know.
Now I understand why people said, why did you go there for this video? This wasn't the content we was getting from you. Now you just talking about white joints with ponytails and...
Then I want to see how far it goes into this wormhole.
With thick queens with the weave looking on point, but in reality, he was gripping on a blonde ponytail and balls deep in skinny white ass.
Was very stereotypical and distasteful to say the least. Yeah. Saying Drake is half black and his other side of the family uses it.
Because Drake is half black, the other side of his family uses it.
Again, stereotyping. How do you know his other side of the family says this? What makes you so sure? Irregardless whether his dad's side does say it or not, even if you had the proof of them saying it, Drake didn't even used to say the word correctly.
It was somebody that I was like, I used to see out and be like, yo, that's that nigger, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. Yo, that's that nigger. Yo, that's that nigger. Yo, that's that nigger.
Which completely goes against Dirt's...
He hit it with the ER, we use the A. He's not using it.
Yeah, he's not using it.
He's not using it properly at all.
Yo, that's that nigger. Yo, that's that nigger.
Which completely goes against Dirt's stereotype. Any black person knows by this clip alone that Drake is more white than black from his lack of awareness. When it came to the word with the hard R, this clip alone screams loud and clear that Drake truly wasn't raised around black people. And I seen a clip of What's the Dirt react to another YouTuber that goes by the name of The Company Man, where this YouTuber does a my take on Dirt's latest video. And Dirt watches and says this.
My family growing up didn't use the N-word. I made a whole video on my channel. I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
When he says he looks like he...
Shots fired.
Yeah. Yeah. That was definitely
It's almost like a white guy telling you act white.
Yeah. That's all I saw.
Pretty much.
That's all I saw. Was, I know you didn't use the N-word.
And then he laughed at it. Like, you don't give us some type of...
Like, you thought I would have thought something different? Like, it's crazy.
N-word. I made a whole video on my channel. I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
When he says he looks like he doesn't say nigga, which is just, man, I would for real like to throw hands after that. This dude is playing in our faces. And this is why we need to stop.
It's not always playing in our faces. We all kind of felt the same way. You could just kind of, when people speak, you kind of tell where they from and how they was raised. So from the way he was speaking, the tone, them couple sentences, it wouldn't surprise me that he said it. It was like, it wasn't a big surprise. Like, it was surprised. I wouldn't have went as far as he went with this shit. But
I wouldn't have went that far at all.
But I definitely wasn't surprised.
Like to throw hands after that. This dude is playing in our faces. And this is why we need to stop letting people like Dirt be tourists of the culture. They get very comfortable. It gets to their heads and overstay their welcome and start saying offensive shit. When he says that he doesn't assume all black families use the N-word, but completely contradicts himself when saying he could tell that the company doesn't say it.
He said this is a great example of me being lost because he assumed that I assumed that all black families use the N-word. And he's trying to peg that on me and put that on me. That is bullshit.
I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
Hey, Dirt, that's not for a white person to determine. He goes into saying that Drake is 30.
At the end of the day, I like people being themselves, speaking how they feel, so you can make your opinion on how you feel about them. It'd be a lot of people that use the N-word when they're around their family and stuff, but they'll never use it out in public. If you use it around your family members, if you use it on there. Just be yourself so I can make my decision. Nothing's worse than being around someone's fake because they're catering what they're saying to who's around them.
But see, that's where, you know, it's a teeter-totter effect here because, well, then what about the people who talk like that around their family and don't talk in public? So the fakeness is out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather
if
you
it's
talk
not
going to
be about fake, then at least keep it at a level of respect. Then
it's all about respect.
That's the way I see it.
Who said that? Aretha Franklin,
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
37 years old. And because of this, Drake says the N-word 37 times, which represents every year that he's black.
And what's also really clever here is that Drake is 37 years old and he says the N-word 37 times on this track.
Damn.
And I believe his reasons for doing this is he's basically saying the word for every year that he's been alive to symbolize that he was indeed born black.
Boy, if you don't get...
This was one of the craziest takes
I've ever... out of here with that.
That was a reach.
That was a hell of a reach.
Crazy reach.
Ever heard. And I don't mind reaching at all. I reach. If you notice, I wanted to stay on the true issue of the video, which is why I'm not including his other far takes, because even though it pissed people off and didn't make sense, and he favored Drake in many ways that were clearly biased and not factual, it's still his outlook and his opinion. If he wants to far stretch and pull shit out of his ass, that's on him, and he has the right to do so, but not about black culture. That's where I draw the line and why I'm responding in this video. For one, black people don't pay attention to how many times someone says nigga unless it's a person who shouldn't be saying it, and that's not including Drake. See,
it's like you don't, like, we hear the word so much that it doesn't even resonate with me. I remember we did a reaction and the person said the word nigga and I didn't even catch it because I hear it almost on a daily basis that it's not a uproar when I hear the word, because I hear it so much that it's just another word to me basically at this point that doesn't trigger me or have me, you know what I'm saying? I hear it too much.
Right. It definitely can understand part of that. Hearing something so much is almost like you just like, yeah, whatever.
You tune it out at a certain point.
Like but then at the same time, it's almost like everything with me comes back to tone.
Yeah. It's not what you say, how you say it.
It's how you say it.
Yeah. Facts. I agree with you.
As nigga unless it's a person who shouldn't be saying it, and that's not including Drake. See, we make fun of Drake like a SIG or a roast session back in high school. We take jabs at how he's a bit whitewashed, but we would never feel completely away about him saying nigga. We wouldn't count how many times Drake says nigga. Like, what the fuck? But as soon as we hear the word once from a different race, then that's another story. For two, you're trying to break down Drake's bars as if they're Kendrick's. Drake has never made music with hidden clues or that in depth. Again, very surface level bars. And that's not to discredit Drake. Drake has made great music in the past. Let's not take away from his artistry. However, you're literally looking way too deep than Drake ever would intend to go. And what made you even...
That's a great point. He's breaking down Kendrick. I mean, he's breaking down Drake the way somebody would break down Kendrick. Like at 5:00, like the song he just dropped, Watch the Party Die. It was 5 minutes and 4 seconds. People say, oh, we know how Kendrick is. He's a deep thinker. The song is 5 minutes and 4 seconds because he's giving a shout out to
the 504 Boys,
Hot Boys, and all that. Drake was never that way. You break him down on that level of...
Yeah, you weren't even thinking to try to figure out, well, why did he do that? Yeah, no, you just catch the vibe. That was it. Surface level.
Yeah.
Looking way too deep than Drake ever would intend to go. And what made you even count the word nigga in the first place, bro? What is wrong with you? That's not shocking though. Because it's clearly a white take. It's bland as hell and unseasoned as fuck. And then there's the colorless, educated statements about Adonis being light-skinned and Kendrick's son being lighter than Kendrick. Saying Kendrick might be embarrassed to be seen with his son because he's lighter than Kendrick that's just a white prejudice thing you could say.
I almost feel that way. My daughter's high yellow. I don't feel that way. Your daughter's high yellow.
I don't feel that way.
No black person feels that way.
Right.
Like, you look at her like,
this is my everything. What do you mean?
You feel what I'm saying? I know what her mom looks like. I know what I look like.
Right.
This is one of us, no matter how the skin came out, because we know that comes from like different stuff could skip generations, but somewhere in your family
the way
has
DNA
that.
works.
Yeah, it skips sometimes.
Because he's lighter than Kendrick that's just a white prejudice thing you could say.
Although Kendrick's child isn't anywhere near to as light as Drake's, Drake leverages this to subtly accuse Kendrick of hypocrisy. This is Kendrick's reality, right? He does have mixed children, and he does seem to prefer lighter complected women. Kendrick really wants to be with white chicks, right? That's truly what he wants. But because he's Kendrick Lamar, he has to hide.
How the fuck is you? I don't see what you're talking about. He's speaking like actual factual.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you know what this man wants?
Yeah. How do you know and how do you speak for him?
For his music, where are you getting these takes from?
Yeah, I heard none of that in any of his music.
Now I can see what people was talking about, and it's like, bro, you didn't have to do none of this. Like, no one watches for your takes on.
Yeah, he's force feeding opinions at this point. That's a dangerous.
It's like he said at the beginning of it. Maybe this is how he's always really felt. He just never really said it.
Yeah.
Now he's saying how he really feels.
How he really feels.
To be with white chicks, right? That's truly what he wants.
See,
but because he's Kendrick Lamar,
earlier, this is exactly what I was saying earlier. He was like, this is how he truly feels. Yeah. Exactly what we were saying earlier when we were like, well, people one way at the house, and then when they're outside, them not being themselves. He's comfortable.
Yeah, but it's like my point was, he obviously felt this way on all the videos we did that we reacted to him.
What made him not say it then?
I mean, he's pretty smart.
Something changed between then and now to where now he's like, nah, I'm gonna say how I feel.
Inquiring minds want to know. I would like for him to talk to him and ask him that question personally.
We might have to do that.
Facts.
Kendrick really wants to be with white chicks, right? That's truly what he wants. But because he's Kendrick Lamar, he has to hide it. He's embarrassed to be seen.
Black people come in all
That shit make no sense. He's afraid to be seen because if he like white girls, I don't give a fuck who I like.
Reaching.
I want to be seen. Yeah. White, black, Chinese, Mexican. Listen, on my arm is a baddie.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. We ain't talking about race. She's bad as fuck.
That's it.
That's all it matters.
He has to hide it. He's embarrassed to be seen.
Black people come in all shades. Yeah. There's albino, brown, light brown, dark brown. We are literally all the shades of the world. Drake is self-projecting because for the longest, he didn't want people to see his child because he didn't think it was his. And it was speculated that he wasn't certain it was his child because of how white Adonis appeared. Now that's just
I think my speculation, we are allowed to speculate. I think he didn't want to speculate because his mom's a prostitute. I mean, he didn't want to claim it because his mom's a prostitute. It's like, yo, if you're the #1 artist in the world, right? You be like, you got a prostitute knocked out. Of all the people, a porn star, not a prostitute, a porn star.
Porn star. Yeah.
Like, who want to claim that? Like, y'all got this.
You can have anybody you want,
and you got a porn star.
Yeah,
knocked up. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure that had more.
I think that had more weight on his decision than anything else.
Facts.
That he wasn't certain it was his child because of how white Adonis appeared. Now that's just speculation, but it's not so far of a reach when Drake battles with being accepted in the black community. So at this point, this is just preference versus programming. I mean, there was a lot of takes that was misinformed and misinterpreted. Saying Kendrick is doing songs with white artists as if he isn't supposed to or is not supposed to, that's a weird take. And siding with Drake about YG and CB being actual blood members.
Drake then makes a reference to Chris Brown, and many might think this is a gimmick, but Chris really is a full-on Fruitown Piru, because Chris Brown is an R&B singer from Virginia, but unlike Kendrick, a Compton native who was only an affiliate, Chris is a full-on gang member.
Industry blood members at that, which, by the way, caused Drake issues from that statement alone. To know gang politics and the gang-banging culture, you know you can't name drop people. For one, that's dry snitching. And for two, other rival gangs will check your ass. Some rival gangs will take that as disrespect. Like, oh, is that who you roll with? You claiming a side? What's up? And also, Kendrick being from Compton, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that he has acquaintances with people that bang. And that line that Drake said could come off disrespectful to them. Like, oh, you think we won't do anything about it? Like, oh, you questioning us. You think we won't do anything about it? You think he don't have real hitters around here? I mean, that whole Ken and Friends was a statement. Flamed up, all red. People didn't look familiar to me nor you, but believe me, they did to the LA streets with well-known gang members on stage showing their allegiance to Kendrick. That was a threat and a warning to Drake. Why do you think he sold all his houses? Why do you think he moved to Houston next to mob ties? And then there's this video that What's the Dirt would edit to lean more on Drake's favor and lies.
Indeed responsible for this incident.
Because like half of her face was like blown out pretty much. She was with a certain rapper who had assaulted her. His first name was Kendrick. Kendrick Lamar? Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar?
There was cops there, and we didn't find out it was Kendrick until later.
And it's at this point where the Who Kid dropped.
We seen that video. That video was sent to us. I actually showed you that same video. We didn't know if it was true or not, so we didn't want to touch it. I mean, it was speculation. We try to stay away from speculation here and stick to the facts, but we definitely seen that video, definitely circulating. We definitely had a conversation about it, and we both decided it's not a good idea to post up.
We didn't find out it was Kendrick until later.
And it's at this point where the Who Kid drop from Drake from push-ups starts to get a little more interesting.
This Twitter user calls him out. You spent months on this, and you edited the security interview for Drake's narrative. You said the dates lined up with the security guard, which it doesn't. The guy next to her said it was a UFC fight night, not boxing. She agreed. UFC 173 happened that weekend in Vegas. So if you're sticking with her story, you should stay on that weekend. Hashtag culture vulture. And then
they call that man a goddamn culture vulture. Yo, stick to the facts. You're trying to take this story and put it with this story and make it story.
You're trying to make it make
sense. It's two different situations, and that's why you're gonna call you a culture vulture, because your date's not lining up. And that's when it goes again for speaking from other people's cultures, not having all the facts of what's going on. If you don't have all the facts, it's just better to stay away from it. Because
just to keep your mouth shut.
Someone on YouTube will pull your coattail.
Oh, they gonna do that
real quick.
And they're going to do the digging. They're going to find out everything they need to find out. And the dates, does everything align? Can you connect the dots?
And pull up receipts.
Pull them receipts.
If you're sticking with her story, you should stay on that weekend. Hashtag culture vulture. And then there's this clip about his fellow YouTuber, The Company Man, having no motion.
But I'm not putting it up on YouTube because I'd only be doing them a favor. Like, a lot of these guys don't have a lot of motion. That's like, they just don't, right? So I would be helping them.
Well, he has motion today.
If he was helping them, what would be wrong with that?
Right.
You're using Drake and Kendrick's situation to get help. Why can't you help someone else?
Like, apparently he's not throwing no cookies, no other direction.
The crazy thing is, I seen that he made a video where he apologized to the Company Man. So now I definitely want to check that out, because he apologized to this guy for everything that he said.
Oh, well, I don't want to hear your damn apology. You done made a video bashing me. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going, what? I just want to say I'm sorry.
That's how the pressure, the pressure is getting to him from people talking about this and people making videos about it. You go from saying, I don't want to help this guy out in this video to making a whole video about this guy and apologize to that guy, which is definitely going to help him out. Yeah. That's how I know who the company man is. 3 minutes ago, well, before we started this video, I didn't know who the company man was.
Didn't know who the company man was.
But when I typed this video in, the next video that came out under that was him apologizing to the company man, and then I put it together as we was watching this. Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's like, they just don't, right? So I would be helping them.
Well, he has motion today, if anything. Just like you use Drake and Kendrick's moment to shine, like any other YouTuber will do, including myself, because it's a viral topic. I mean, what are you actually trying to say here? You know how YouTube works. You're trending, so everyone is going to either react and give you your flowers, or they're going to react and tell you what you probably don't want to hear. Irregardless, what does motion have to do with this? Because he does have motion. Because he's actually doing numbers right now. He's getting the views. Like, it's so funny and awkward as hell when the uncultured white people don't even understand the phrases they're using when they use it. It's just, it's hilarious. I mean, from the offensive tweets that he kept tweeting, the dude is like Carlton from Fresh Prince, and you're trying to frame this as me being racist. Come the fuck on now.
He called that nigga Carlton.
So you just he tried to dig himself out the hole and got deeper in it.
Yo, this guy's crazy, man.
Fresh Prince, and you're trying to frame this as me being racist. Come the fuck on now. Because you're looking at a man who speak with some sense and higher education, you want to compare him to Carlton. And
it's fucked up and it's racist.
Yeah.
On every level.
Yeah.
Because I want to speak properly on Carlton.
Yeah. So you just damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's just fucked up,
bro. It is.
It's fucked up.
And it don't get no better.
Higher education.
It don't get no better. Now I'm really, now I can feel me getting a little irritated.
Me too.
Point.
As the video goes on, I get heated and heated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Factual. Now I can see why people say, yo, you cross lines. You should be canceled. You don't understand the culture. I don't go into other people's cultures calling them different stuff.
Yeah.
What makes you feel that comfortable to come in the culture?
Hella comfortable.
Call Kendrick the guy off Jingo. Now you calling this other guy Carlton.
Like, who gave you the authority?
That's what we would call that stereotyping.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a man who speak with some sense and higher education, you want to compare him to Carlton. And if that's not racist, I don't know what is.
I don't know.
And then he goes and says this. I swear, baby, I only fucked those white chicks because I'm racist. I did it from my ancestors. It was all for the culture. Don't you understand? I did this for us. Laugh out loud. Like, come on, man. I talk about this in the breakdown because it really supports Drake's Black Messiah line.
Who is... It's like, yo, who is advising this guy?
Yeah, he needs a PR person or something.
Like, you should not type anything else for the rest of your life because you have no clue. I don't know if you started getting views and it started going to your head. You thought you was more of something in the culture than you wasn't. But this right here...
Or maybe the dumber you sound, the more people tune in.
Yeah.
And you just trying to...
Yeah.
Run it up.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you sound racist.
Yeah. It's like me. I'm a real fair guy. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's pissing me the fuck off. This is a lot.
Facts.
You're pissed. Like at the beginning, to here. It's like
maybe people reaching just a little bit. Yeah. I totally feel it.
You're not reaching. And I can see why now you're making apology videos. Yeah. But it's like now seeing all this type of shit, you don't fucking mean it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not genuine.
It's not genuine. I don't care. Like, I don't even have to see the apology video. I can tell you, it's not genuine. This is who you really are at the end of the day.
That's who you are.
Factual.
The only reason that you don't want people to know that's who you are is because it's affecting that.
Yeah, it's hitting the bottom line.
Bottom line.
Like, come on, man. I talk about this in the breakdown because it really supports Drake's Black Messiah line. What? That's what you got from Drake's Black Messiah line? that's why we question Drake's blackness. I'm just gonna put that out there, because if you guys are both thinking that way, I mean, a statement like that for a white dude to go on YouTube and be basically the
man, look at here, that big picture, he need to take it down. The Ice Cube picture, he need to take it down. That Nipsey picture, he need to take it down. Who's that? Jackie Robinson or something?
I can't tell who that is. Almost like Mac.
Now you can see why people hashtag culture vulture. It's like because you stated how you really feel, and then we got to look at you and see you have these people behind you.
Yeah, and you're not standing on nothing that they stand on.
Fuck no.
culture vulture of YouTube hip hop. It's beyond.
He just said it again. Like he's repeating everything. Yes. Because we're all seeing the same thing, and we're all feeling the same type of way. It's like,
and people speaking on it.
Facts.
To and be basically the culture vulture of YouTube hip hop. It's beyond me, because you're showing your whole ass right now, dude. Yeah. Like you really are. I don't care how talented you are, how you put words together and brainstorm and put all these cool fancy edits in your video.
And you know what's crazy? That's more to the point where I'm like, you know better. You absolutely know better.
He don't.
Because you put all these things together, you string things together. That means you're thinking. Yeah. That means you're logical. That means you're systematic.
Yeah.
So you're not stupid.
It almost seemed like to me like when he was doing the Drake Kendrick beef, he knew that certain people was watching his channel. When it started to fucking die down, it seemed like you went back to what you knew your fan base was and expected from you. So now you're just going back to who you know is on your channel and what they expect to hear from you. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what it's giving me from what I'm seeing.
It's giving me a stomach ache.
Not a stomach
put
ache.
Words together and brainstorm and put all these cool fancy edits in your videos. You showing your whole ass right now. Yeah. You're looking like a culture vulture. You're looking like a colonizer, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you with that. I just don't get it. Like, we could keep going. If you go to his tweets, he has a shit ton stupid remarks like I just read, and very, very insensitive. I mean, it's leaning on the prejudice versus racist side of him, and it shows how he really is just not like us. And that's so corny to say, but it's the truth. It really is the truth.
Delete it.
Online, after watching this video, I agree with everybody who I heard speaking about this video before. I'm glad we took the time to watch this for ourselves and process for ourselves and not just join in on an opinion. And it's kind of wild because even as we watch this video ourselves, we're definitely open-minded.
Yes.
Especially at the beginning. We're not going to do this, you know what I mean? Maybe he just said something stupid. No, he went on tangents. He went on tangents. There's no hiding that. And at this point, your words don't mean anything. That's why you need to pick your words
carefully
in life very carefully, especially in this world that we live in, because you could say something 7 years ago. Somebody's going to find it. Someone's going to take the time, however many hours it takes, to scroll back on any type of social media you have to find that one thing you said. And it'll be blown up in your face just like this. What do you think about this?
I think it's a crazy whole situation. The fact that we've interacted with this guy, we never even had a clue that he felt similar, a small amount of what he feels. And that's a good thing about YouTube. You have to make videos every day, so eventually who you are is going to come to the light. It's going to come out. Like they say, everything that's done in the dark comes to the light. This guy went and found some of that darkness he had, and he brought it to the light. I would have never expected this from this guy. Like I said, all the videos he did was cool. That's why I had such an open mind. Like, yo, we did plenty of videos. I never heard anything slightly racist from this guy. Maybe people are reaching. Maybe they're not where I'm from. People take stuff a little bit more serious than I take it. By the end of this video, I wanted to smack the shit out of this guy.
Facts.
That's how it went.
My voice started trembling a little bit. I had to say something. I was like, man, he's getting under my skin. I got to catch myself a little bit.
He took it too far. You feel what I'm saying? If somebody like me saying you took it too far, brother, you took it too far. Not only do you owe the company man apology, you owe a lot more people apology than that. It shouldn't be this label, apologize to the company man. I'm apologize to everyone. I was wrong. From the people responses back to this, if you read through it, it makes sense. You offended people.
Yeah, he was out on.
If I offended people, I would say I apologize. You need to apologize to the whole culture and what you did. If you're a Drake fan, be a Drake fan, but you don't gotta throw our culture under the bus to be a Drake fan.
Right.
At the same time, I think this is just crazy crazy, crazy. Can't wait to see what come from the situation. But until then, it's your boy Trey TV, and I'm out. It makes sense. You offended people.
Yeah, he was out on
If I offended people, I would say I apologize. You need to apologize to the whole culture and what you did. If you're a Drake fan, be a Drake fan, but you don't gotta throw our culture under the bus to be a Drake fan.
Right.
At the same time, I think this is just crazy.